Joining me now from Washington, Behnam Ben Taleblu is a senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Thank you so much for being with us.
Pleasure. Thank you.
So in the wake of Ismail Haniyeh's assassination on Iranian soil and, of course, Iran's threats of retaliation, the region is on edge, many fearing it may be on the verge of all-out war. But the Biden administration says war is not inevitable. Where do you see these escalating tensions going?
Well, certainly in the short term, I do see a significant uptick, at least kinetically or militarily, in the region coming our way. Both Iran's supreme leader, and that's a title meant to be taken rather literally, and chief military body, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, have indeed promised a hard revenge after the killing of Ismail Haniyeh in Iran. This is the kind of language that they had used after the killing of Iran's terrorist mastermind in Iraq, Qasem Soleimani. And that sort of language paved the way for a large ballistic missile attack. Similar language was used before the April 13 historic, overt, and direct missile and drone attack by Iran against Israel. So there's absolutely a non-zero chance of a overt and direct military confrontation, as well as an intensification of the current multi-front proxy war we've been seeing in the region, and one the U.S. has been trying to manage.
And of course, Haniyeh was the Hamas political leader, but also one of the key Hamas negotiators for ceasefire and hostage release talks. Now that he's been killed, what happens to those efforts for a deal, and what happens to the hostages?
You know, this is a kaleidoscopic question. The same facts point in a different direction every time the context changes. I think for the short term, any kind of ceasefire talks are going to be off the table, with all eyes on trying to avoid or offset or even deter that likely impending Iranian or intensification of the proxy military responses. But never say never, particularly for some of the creative diplomatic solutions the Biden administration has looked to effectuate through what's left of that political office, as well as other countries who have stepped up to try to be mediators during the past 10 months.
And after the assassination of Haniyeh and also the killing of Hezbollah military commander in Beirut on the same day, how committed do you think Benjamin Netanyahu is to the deal, given his actions?
Well, I actually see the killing of Haniyeh, even though the Prime Minister didn't mention that clearly in his speech today, as a kind of a making good on the promise made in the early days of October 7, that the Israelis would be hunting down or targeting anyone who they deemed was responsible for the October 7 terrorist attack. So I think if there's anything that the Prime Minister is going to be looking to fulfill or carry out, is essentially that very early pledge, which in my view means an intensification of the Gaza war, particularly if one believes that Israel is behind the assassination, because the logic would be to stun the adversary and then to achieve a military win following that political assassination.
And according to the New York Times, Iran's supreme leader is now ordering a direct strike on Israel in retaliation for the assassination of Haniyeh on Iranian soil. How likely is that, given Iran is also demanding an urgent meeting with the UN Security Council, accusing Israel of violating international law?
Well, I think this is the Islamic Republic trying to work by, with, and through, if I could borrow the phrase from the U.S. counterterrorism playbook, some of its partners on the UN Security Council, such as the Chinese and the Russians, who I believe with the Algerians helped call for the meeting, but at the same time trying to dangle the fact that they had previously been willing to go to the brink, and dangle that like a sword of Damocles, both over the Israelis as well as the U.S. alliance structure in the region. So they're trying to cultivate the chaos and cultivate the fear, much like the atmosphere that existed between April 1st and April 13th.
Behnam Ben Taleblu in Washington, many thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.